This is our Spencer, Tennessee tiny home community, which is under construction right now as we speak. And this is the plat. This is a preliminary plat of showing, or site plan to show you exactly, well, it's not exactly, is it, Amanda? It's a potential site plan of my walking on the property, what was going on. People have been saying, hey, what's it gonna look like? What are the roads? So looking at this, the black lines are roads. The red lines are they're not lot lines. They're just areas that gives me an idea of how many homes that are going to be able to be placed on this property.
Right.
Now, remember, these are not lot lines. They're not subdivided. We've got a little note on there.
They're just potential sites.
They're potential sites, and it gives me a reference point. These are rental sites, and so it'll be like an RV park. So everybody, everybody's been excited. They've been thinking, oh my God, what's it gonna look like? What's going on? And so we're gonna just show you this site plan right here. Again, this is in Spencer. I've come up with about 117 lots in this.
117.
117.
Okay.
Now, there could be more, there could be less. There's not gonna be very many more than that. And again, this is all doing from the map, looking down on a contour map. I physically have walked this property numerous times, so I know the lay of the land, and I've already, got it mapped in my head, kind of where the roads will be. But this is just a preliminary. It is due to change. So let me put that on there, but I think it gives us a really good starting point of where and what we're gonna do with this property. So I guess, let me show you a little bit. Like, this is, I call farm area here. The farm area is a big pasture, right? Now we're going to use that as our field line, which we call that a field line is your sewer. So the sewer will be, everybody knows the grass is greener over the septic tank. Well, this is going to be the farm area, right? And this is where we're going to have a barn and animals and vineyards and berries and gardening and all. It's almost 7 acres right here. So it's a very large area. You guys seen on the video. This over here is a creek area. The creek flows kind of pretty much through here and flows out and goes back in through here and out. So what's going to happen is I don't want to build too much in here. This might be a park area that we'll leave for walking and picnicking and gathering. It's really pretty, but we want to watch that creek over the course of developing this property to see how much it comes out of its banks, right? We want to make sure that we don't build anything in there that's going to flood. Then back here, you guys can see this is a creek that comes through the property and it winds all the way back through here. We may or may not develop this back portion, but I did subdivide it. And of course, you guys can see that I did not use all the land, and we're going to use it as a community park area.
Well, you didn't subdivide it.
Not subdivided, but I didn't place any homes on it.
Right.
Right. Yeah, the whole tract is 27 acres. It's not to be subdivided. It'll stay one tract. We want to specifically mention that. And so the park area is something and this might be a bigger park area. We may use double that area. So
what's the total? 27 acres?
That's what I said, yeah.
Okay, 27 acres.
So the thing is, I've had 117 lots. We may go down to 90 or 100 or maybe even go to 120. But anyway, that gives us a starting point of what we're going to do there. And my idea where I wanted a park area. Oh, let me point this part out. We have called a town square. So right now we're putting in 4 home sites right in this area for the folks that have, when we first started this project, there were 4 people that needed to live on here within, I think, 90 days. So within the next month or two, we're gonna have 4 homes here. We're gonna bring our general store. It's the highest in elevation of the property. It'll look down over on the farm. I think it's a great area to have a town square. So after those 4 homes are gone onto these lots, this will be a town square where we'll have more than just the hardware store or the general store or whatever it is. There'll be coffee shops or whatever we want to do. But so we have a town square, we have a farm area, and we have 2 parks and possibly a few other places that will be, really, I don't know, to add amenities to, So that's our Spencer, Tennessee property. I think we've sold about 53 right now, homes to go on these sites, 53. So we're about halfway there. So if you're still interested, remember, any of our homes that you spend more than $50,000 on buying our home, you get 1 year free rent, free delivery, and free setup. That is a big price, all right? It's a good cost savings. And then also, if you buy anything $75,000 and up, you get 2 years free rent, free delivery, and free setup. That gives you guys enough time and money to skirt and build decks and landscape and get really nice and get acclimated to this, you know? And then after that, we are going to offer a 5-year lease at $300 a month. So you know your cost of living is going to stay the same for at least 5 years, and we're probably going to, you know, whatever happens 5 years from now.
Well, and one of the things I want to say, you might want to, I don't know if you mean to say it like that, but the cost of living, if it rises, that will change, but your fixed expenses of your rent,
Right.
$300, will be guaranteed for 5 years.
Yeah, so what Amanda's referring to is a clause in the lease agreement. It's called CODA, which is the cost of living. All right, so the cost of living can go up 1% to 2%, or go down. It could go up. It just fluctuates. But your actual rent will never be. You don't have to worry it going to $600, $800, $900 a month. Cost of living go up $3. Could go up $6, depending on. That's the same thing that would happen to a fixed pension or
Right.
Social Security. That your cost of living increase would go along with the rental.
Right. So you wouldn't be paying any extra money or anything like that.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so Spencer, Tennessee, Fall Creek Falls. If you're new to our channel, this is a community that we're starting. This is the one we've got going right now. We've got men working on it. I'll probably be going down this week, and I know I'm going down Sunday to meet with an excavator, another one, Foster, my buddy who's overseeing all this. We're gonna probably have an excavator come in, and we're probably thinking about cutting in this area right here first, and we'll come in and stop and put these lots in. Of course, these are being built right now, and I'll show you that this week. And then these lots will be first. This is really pretty here because there's a creek that runs through here, and there's a pond, a little waterfall, and then it connects to this creek, and then it flows out. So and we'll show you some. Is it raining?
It is pouring the rain.
Wow.
I didn't think it was supposed to rain today.
Raining again.
It is like, look, it is pouring the rain. I did not know it was raining. We were getting ready to go outside for a video.
So
I guess this is our video
Foster's
today.
down in Spencer,
Yeah.
and he's down there. And last week was a wash.
We're trying to mow. We're trying to get it cleaned up.
He couldn't drive on the property. It
My
was turning
God.
into mud going over it. It's just a mess.
It's pouring.
And now across the street in our projects, it turns to mud again.
I didn't think it was supposed to rain all week.
I seen our excavator over the weekend,
Yeah.
and his whole family, everybody, they can't believe the amount of rain we've had since the first of the year.
Yes,
it just shuts. This rain right here will shut you down for 3 more days.
Oh, of course. If we get 1 day of work, it'd be a miracle. But that would be having to dry out tomorrow until Friday.
Could you imagine if we were in your backyard
No.
and we were not in a building?
No.
We could never produce the amount of homes that we produce.
Oh, no. It wouldn't work. No.
All right, everybody. Spencer, Tennessee, we are rocking and rolling.
Okay.
If you're interested in that, remember, there's a 1 year and 2 year free rent. Blah. What does blah mean?
I'm not sure.
I just get excited thinking, what a deal.
Well, yeah.
There was somebody who bought a mini ace and an ace for their daughter and for them.
Oh, okay.
And he said, 2 years free rent? He said, that locked it in.
I mean,
no rent, no nothing for 2 years.
It worked for all 230 sites here on this property. Will you before we move on from Spencer, will you kind of talk about how many? So we have 230 rental sites here.
Yes.
Okay. How much area does that cover to give people an idea?
This, okay, with the park, minus the park,
and our building,
and minus our building,
and the sales lot and things like that,
probably 25 acres.
Yeah, and this is
27 acres
with just 100.
with half that many home sites.
So that gives people a perspective of like, listen, Yeah,
it's approximately, if you had square footage divided by the many lots, a quarter
Sure.
of an acre. you know.
Right.
But you got roads and you got park area and all that. It's going to be less. But a quarter of an acre is about 11,000 square feet, 10 something, you know.
And we want everybody to know this is, like Randy said, this is preliminary. So please keep that in your mind, because if we decide, like if Randy looks at it and say, you know what, I think I'm going to switch that and put that over there or whatever. We just want to give you an idea, because people were asking about it. Let me give one more shot of it right here, and then we'll go on to our next tiny home community.
Yep.
We are a tiny home community place. We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
We're trying.
We're trying. What's this?
Yeah, this one is Paduca. So Paducah, Kentucky is in western Kentucky, north of Nashville, about an hour and a half. All right. I've heard Paducah all my life. I think Paducah's got a famous, the name Paducah is very famous.
Yeah.
In folk and been in the South and stuff, right? But I've never been to Paducah. How this come about was the mayor of Paducah reached out to us, and he said he'd seen, I guess on social media, what we had done. So they came and visited, and he brought his constituents here and loved what we did. They loved the look of our 230 home sites here, our 4 communities. He visually loved it.
I think there was about 6 or 8 people, right?
Yeah. So what's funny is you got some people that look at it that doesn't like it, and then you got people that look at it, and I'm like, they're like, wow, we want this in our city.
Yeah.
So we purchased 8 acres, and that's what this is, 8 acres in Paducah, and this is in the city limits, which is super exciting.
It's in the city.
We have got 80 plus lots on here. It's like 85, 86. And I'm thinking about changing this up and maybe taking 4 of these lots and putting a community center in the middle, right here. What's going to be unique about this particular community, it's in the city limits. It's close to everything. Paducah, you're shopping, doctors, schools, jobs, you name it, boom, it's all wooded. So this is going to be like the forest.
Yes.
All these lots are the size of the forest. Okay, so that's what you have here. This is a beautiful little community, and what I love about this is we are actually selling the lots.
So now this is big that you just said that. So I want everybody to make sure they heard this. These are not going to be rental lots. These are going to be lots that will be sold.
These will be subdivided. You will own and have a deed to each lot.
Yep.
So you can buy a home from us. You can buy the lot, put your home on it. You can get a long-term loan. You can get a 30-year fixed note from a local bank that we'll be getting you in contact with. Like I said, you can buy an ACE. You can put an ACE on here. There'll be deeds and restrictions and everything in it.
Yes.
But you guys will own this.
You'll own your lot. And
there will be no rental. There will be no $200 a month, $100 a month, $300 a month. We build this and we're gone. That this is a community. It is a set community. And once it's done, it's done. I like that part of it because you can walk in here and own your lot, resell your home.
And this is exciting. This is the first time we've done this. So this will be a brand new thing for us.
This is a full-blown tiny home subdivision.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
And there'll be paved streets.
First one.
Think about that. This is paved streets.
Yes.
All wooded. This is just like the forest.
Yes. Because the forest has 72 lots? So this has 80. It's the same thing.
Yep,
so, and the forest is only maybe about 6 acres.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this is 8 acres, so it's going to be even more.
Almost the same.
Room. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm excited about this.
Yes.
We have a planning commission meeting to go to. We've already met with the mayor. We've met with engineers. This has all been engineered. This is a big deal because we've been working on this for over a year.
Yeah.
And we've had to have all the utilities, the water, the power, the sewer. This is fire hydrants. This is paved roads. These are restrictions in the city, right?
Yeah.
So this is a subdivision being built. What are we offering right here? Right now, we're offering an ACE and a lot, a deeded lot, and an ACE for $125.
Okay.
And that is paved roads. You got garbage pickup. This is the deal right here. And you've got Where else can you go in America and buy a home, a lot,
Right.
and everything in the city limits with all the benefits around it of this little town of Paducah?
And two, just let me ask really quick now, will it be in phases? Will the paving come last? How will it kind of work?
We will pave as we go, but we
Pave as
will
you
do
go.
phases. So, of
Okay.
course, this is the entryway right here is what we're going to do. And what we're proposing to do is probably put in this side,
Okay.
maybe 6 or 8 lots, and we're going to work. Now, if we get a call today and we sell 50 of these homes, we're going to put 50 lots in.
Right, exactly.
So what we're thinking is we'll probably slowly develop this out, and it depends. It really depends on the amount of interest we get with this. You know, every time that we do a development, I think sometimes people look at us as we have this, confidence that we think that this is just going to go and this makes it. This takes so much risk. We've got thousands and tens of thousands of dollars already invested in the engineering
Yes, we do.
and the purchase of this property. I couldn't tell you. I'm sure it's well over $150,000 just preliminary. We haven't even
I'm
dug
sure.
any dirt yet.
No.
Okay, and so to do this is a risk that we're taking, and we're hoping that you guys will, like what we're doing. And we think that not only our viewers will maybe like it or know somebody in their life that might want to be a part of that, but also the local community.
Yeah.
We were approached by the mayor and his constituents were like, you know what? They want us to come because they have a housing shortage. We thought about putting in voucher homes living there. People could pay, I think it's only Section 8 or whatever it is. But we've thought all these different areas and how we can make this work.
Right.
But now we've come to the decision is we're going to sell the lots, sell the homes. Now you cannot buy a lot by yourself. You have to buy a home and a lot. We're builders, we build homes.
Yes.
That's why we're developing the property, not to sell land, but to sell homes with their land, all right?
Right. And
So-
we're excited about this because it is one of the things that, we have I think there's been some confusion about some of the, what we've done so far, thinking it's a subdivision, thinking it's all that. This is the first time we've ever done a subdivision, subdividing the land.
Yeah.
And this is something, along with the other, we'll do both ways, keeping rentals and whatever, but have both options. But we want to do this nationwide.
Yeah, the whole reason we started developing land was because people cannot just put a tiny home anywhere they want.
Right.
And so we said, all right, then we need to take that risk and all that money and develop land. It is, if it was my druthers, I'd rather just build homes and we could just get them out of here and sell
100%.
thousands of them at a time. I'd love that. But we can't. Now we're taking on another headache or a hat, I should
Another
say.
hat.
To develop land. There's a lot to this. There's I'm hoping that, I'm blessed right now to have 50 people interested in what we've done. It's been an amazing feat that 50 people wanted to come to Spencer. I am so thankful for that.
Oh, beautiful.
And I think it's going to get bigger because the spirit of this community has already evolved, and it's been so cool to watch. And now we're getting this thing rolling, and it takes time. Look at this, raining here, it's raining there. It's all the things that it takes to get this rolling. And then Paducah has been in the works for over a year. I didn't really want to put this together until we knew for sure that we were in this. And we just had met with the Planning Commission last month and the mayor and the engineering, and they all give us a thumbs up. Not only a thumbs up, they gave us they said, we're excited about what's coming here.
Yeah.
So there you have it. So right now, and we are also looking at a couple other places in the United States.
Well, I'll tell you what, I seen the last one that I wrote, because I get it all the time. They're like, come to Wisconsin, come to, Kansas, come everywhere. The last one I seen was, please come to Florida. They said Central Florida, so I don't know what that entails, what areas, but people are on there on YouTube in the comments, please come here. We need this affordable housing. We want these communities.
Gosh,
we're trying.
Well, I think about that, and there's so much to getting property. Of course, you guys know not everybody wants tiny homes.
Right.
And there's ways around that, and we got all these different ways of maneuvering and working with city council and municipalities of what we can work with them. Just like Paducah. I think this is really going to be an icon for future cities
Right.
to bring in affordable housing to their communities, and they need it, you know. So yeah, if you guys know of your area, I'm just trying to think to myself, how do we determine where do we want to go to build a community, you know? And once, you know, the land costs, I'll tell you what I did. You know, the biggest thing that I look at for land is it's city water. If it has city water, it's great. Now, it doesn't have to have sewer, but then you're limited to how many homes, it's just fine. And if it's not too costly, the land doesn't cost too much, then you can justify the density of how many homes you can go on the property.
Right.
Then it's got sewer, it's going to cost more money, then you got to charge more. And so there's all these things you got to consider when you're buying property and developing it, how far it is away from our hub here, who's going to oversee it, and delegating that and making sure it's all done properly.
And another thing that I'd like for you to add, I know we've said this before, but if you would touch base on another level of security for everyone, talking about that we own these properties, we do not have partnerships, things like that. If you kind of go into that level, and the big question, what happens when you die, Randy? Everybody wants to know that.
Really? You're still asking?
Still asking, what happens when you die?
You take over.
Everybody wants to know.
Really?
It's a big, I guess because it's a sole owner, I guess because it's
I'm not a sole proprietor. We are
Talk about that.
We are incorporated.
Yes.
INC dot, right?
Inc.
So Inc. And because, you know, with that, we have a board members, you know, Amanda,
Absolutely.
Tom, all these people. And so we realized, you know, if I pass or when I pass, this has got to continue on. There's a whole nother younger generation that's going to be
Absolutely.
taken. Hopefully, we can make this thing really get some steam and keep creating something that can be around for a long, long time. So, you know, that is in place.
And
So,
we do not have partners. I just want to put that out there too, because
yeah, there's no partners. We've been offered partnerships and investors, and they've been great people, and they've offered some really good things. And I'm like,
it just didn't take.
I've never had one, and I'm the reason I never wanted a partner is because I change gears all the time, and I flutter around, and I like to move, and to me, that is the beauty of wanting to be in this business, is to me being me, and me letting me be me is important. And if I had a partner, even though they may have said, hey, we want you to be you, I would still feel restricted. I would feel responsible to that person or that company. And it's been hard. It's, you know, we're always undercapitalized, which means you never have enough money to always do what you want.
Right.
If I had enough money, I'd be doing a whole lot more than what I am. So we're governed. You know, it's like you can only breathe so much, and so it's hard. It's a challenge. Believe us, constantly every day. But it's been enjoyable to the fact that we have the freedom to be what we want to be, and I think with the you know, the concern of me passing is I hope I'm around a long time.
We laughed about it at first, but then we took it serious because we know that is a real concern.
I think in any business, when it passes, the leader has a certain personality that creates all of this, and I know my personality is involved in the design of the communities and all that, but I've been delegating a lot lately to engineering. Like, I did not do any of this. I didn't lay this out.
That's a first.
I didn't do any of the engineering. It's completely done different. We're going to have an engineer on site that's going to run this whole entire job. I will physically not be there. I'll go back and forth, but we do own this project. We own it all. We're paying for it all. We're going to finance it all, everything. This right here, you know, of course, you guys know, I've walked it, I've bought it, I've looked at it, I've eaten it, I've done more on it, and I'll do more on it. But it's different, and it's different because of the way it lays, right? And what I had to do there.
And you did it.
And as we grow, I hope to train and delegate. Like, we've taken on Joseph, a younger guy who's been overseeing the mountain in Buffalo Creek. And I'm trying to train him to look at property, and Tom and my buddy Foster and some other guys. So we're trying to delegate this. That's the only way we can grow, is just spread. And I try to teach them what makes me think of property, what gives me this idea. I don't consider myself any big deal about looking at property. I mean, it's a blank sheet, and then you start creating, you know, you're painting. So this could have been done 20 different ways from 20 different people.
Right.
This is just the way that I wanted it laid out.
And two, incredible tiny homes, people expect, this is the 11th year, they expect your style. This is a style. And then once, more communities come on, it is going to be like a cookie cutter in a sense. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Like when you talk about teaching, Paula Dean taught. Paula Dean's not cooking at all her restaurants. Right. She taught them exactly the recipe. You go exactly by the recipe, so it tastes the same everywhere. McDonald's tastes the same everywhere. Everything tastes.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they do that, because they want to reach more people with the same beautiful product that started in her kitchen.
Yep.
That started in the backyard, and we want that same beautiful product for you to have 100 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah, and and you saying that too, a big thing about longevity and things are the men that are working here. We pay $30 an hour to guys work here. Across the street is a multi-billion-dollar company, and they tap out I think at 26. And they got some benefits, but you got to work there 15, 20 years to get to that point. These boys only been working here 2 to 3 years and they're making 30.
Yep.
And the reason I do that is to keep them here, to keep them happy, to see their lives grow and they get to buy a home, they get to buy a truck, and they grow and they're happy.
And their families, and we want to encourage that, and we want them to grow with the company.
Right. So we could have gotten away with paying less.
Sure.
But I think by paying more, we get better quality homes, better quality people, and
happier
it's
people.
Just a theory. And you know what? I've never read any books about running a business. I didn't go to business school. I'm just running this by my heart and by my gut and how we think that you ought to treat human beings, and may or may not work. It's been working for 11 years.
Yeah.
We hope to keep going, and this is the way we keep going. This is 117 lots. These are 86 lots. And then we're looking at some other land and some other places that we'll let you know. We don't want to overwhelm you with what our ideas.
I know.
We got a lot going on.
Well, and two, you have to stay ahead. We talked about that the other day. And you have to, as a company, even the fall lineup of just the fashion industry, they are seasons ahead, guys. They're probably a year ahead. They know what everybody's going to be wearing next year.
Yep.
So you can't stay settled in the one area. You got to keep growing.
And this land, paid for.
Yes.
We own it.
Yep.
This land, paid for.
Paid for.
We own it.
That's right.
Okay? The homes being built here,
the
profit's going to developing all the infrastructure.
That's right.
That's how we're paying for it. This right here, you're saying, how do you go for 2 years free rent? Because we build homes. Now, if I was just a developer, and a lot of investors that have come to me, they're here for the rental, the income. We are here to build homes. Physically, we want to build structures to put on the land. The rental comes later on, and that's why we can give and take and really help people move on.
Well, and two, we are not selfish. So, I know people think right now that you and I take this rental. We haven't took it yet.
No, it runs the company.
We reinvest it back into the company. Yeah. People think that we sit on stacks. We do not.
Not yet.
Do we?
Nope.
Not yet, but we hope to.
Well, that's why anybody's in business.
Working.
Anybody's in business.
We're in business.
Do this, of course.
Yeah.
But anyway, there you got it. I think that people have watched us for years. You can get to know someone enough if you watch them on video. If you watch them enough. We've been on here, the Lord, for 8 years now or better. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that. And here you go. There's Spencer. Come join us. 2 years free rent, 1 year. If you want to go to Paducah, we are taking orders right now.
Yes.
If you want to put a home on a lot and you want to own that lot, give us a call right now and we can help you out in Paducah. We'll let you know how the Planning Commission goes. It has already been preliminarily done and passed, and we've got all the blessings of that county.
I say we get our interested people. If you're interested, email us. I think
email us about Paducah.
sales@incredibletinyhomes.com, and be sure and talk with Tim. We'll put your email aside. If you're interested, you're going to be called and say, hey, listen, this is our plans now for Paducah.
Yes, and look up Paducah. Go to Google. Look it up. Research what's in Paducah, what's going on with Paducah. Another thing we'll probably put in Paducah are probably some storm shelters. People are concerned about that. And we got storm shelters going here. Chad and his wife up in Massachusetts, they bought one. They're bringing one.
Great.
And we want to buy several more to place in here for storm shelters. And of course, Paducah, we'll do the same there too.
And with you talking about that, it is an option to tie down your home and tell what that entails.
Excuse me. So these homes will be on permanent foundations.
Okay.
I wanted to tell you that too.
I'm glad you said that.
So they will not have a tongue. They won't have wheels under them.
Oh,
we'll be
good.
bringing them in, setting them up on a permanent
Yes.
foundation, yeah, and tied to the ground.
Glad you said that.
Yeah.
What about these?
This is amazing. I mean, you're looking at an ace that is on a permanent foundation.
Yes.
You own the lot, right? And it's delivered, it's set up, and ready to go for $125.
Wow.
That's our introductory offer for this.
So, and just real quick, so when those homes, like if you get in there, you buy one of these homes in the lot and everything, you will sell that like you would sell your house. That doesn't move again.
You own it. You own the deed to
that
it.
doesn't move.
Yeah, and there's a local bank that we've already met with, and they will offer. And I'm going to get back with them again because it's been a while since we talked to them. But I believe they were financing on a 650 or 630 credit score.
Wow.
And 15 to 20 year fixed rate.
Okay.
And that was a while back.
That was.
So, you know, there's some, because you'll own your land and the homes are modular certified.
Good.
Right? They're not just tiny homes, they're certified modular homes. So that's a big deal in Paducah. It's going to be really interesting.
And then just real quick with the tie downs, what does that entail?
These can be tied down.
What does that mean?
That means like a mobile home. They're just some big screw augers that go in the ground. They got ratchet straps, and we hook it to the ringlets that's on the bottom of the home, and it anchors it to the ground.
Okay, absolutely.
There you got it.
I think we've covered it.
I think so too. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Give us a call, and if you could, man, subscribe to this channel. That really helps us get the word out. The more subscribers we get, the bigger we get, the more marketing we have, and it helps get the word out about who we are. This is a challenging industry, and I can't thank you enough for watching and taking the time. I know the videos take some time to get into, but if we do a short video, people get mad at us. We get too long, they get mad at us. So
I know.
We're just doing what we think comes natural.
And think we might be coming to your town. You never know.
That's right.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.